All right, so spring is in the air. The bikes are running nice. This one, which you guys have seen for a while, is pretty much 90% done. And I say 90 because I still want to put a fender up front, which I'm working on. And I did make a fender for the rear. And just an update on this thing is, so I had my license plate mounted on my airbox down here. Well, I got the mod for the airbox removal, put that on, made my own oil tank in there, and then I lost my spot for my license plate because it was right here. So I kind of made a small bracket and I put the license plate under the seat, and that way the light from the brake light will light up the plate. Now the other thing is I wanted a rear fender, so I saw one in Sport Evolution, and it's like 580 euros or so, and I basically kind of copied their thing. So the first part of that was that I made a bracket. I made this bracket. I made this one instead. This is the first one, and I have my license plate mounted on there. The only problem with that is, which I don't like, is that I have to run a wire for the light all the way back here and plumb it somehow, and I had kind of like brake lines set up to do it, but didn't really care for it because I like the clean look. So that's why I moved the license plate up here, live with that for a while. I think it still clogs up the rear end, but whatever, has to be. Well, then I decided to do the fender on here. I ordered a fender from Holland. It wasn't wide enough, my bad, on that one. So what I did is I cut it in half, added up a piece of metal in there, which with this horrible welding, I'm not the greatest welder, still learning, but anyway, got it together, made it, and then I got some 3/8 bar, bent it, heated up, bent it a little bit, and then I welded on a new bracket, or on this bracket actually. And this bracket, as you can see, is very thin, maybe 60 thou or 70 thou, whatever the metal thickness is. And when I mounted these on here, this thing just jumped around everywhere, very loose. So, and what I did then is I had some square tubing, so, or rectangular steel, and this is, I think, an 1/8 inch thick. And I cut this out one piece, welded this fender on there, and it's a lot more sturdy. And you can see it moves around a little bit, but it's really not horrible. I think it'll be fine. When I was riding, I was trying to look back, but that's almost impossible. So, but it was bouncing around a little bit, and you can see it vibrates, but it doesn't hit the tire. So I'm assuming the one from Sport Evolution does the same thing, because the problem is this is the only mounting point. So even this bracket being so stiff helps it a lot, but there's still a little bit of movement, but really not much. So anyway, this is still kind of in the works. I'd like to maybe weld here, cut the ends off, make it nice, and to cover my horrible welding, I might just Bondo over this, or even maybe weld a different plate over here, something different, I don't know what. But yeah, as it stands, the bike is running very well. Carbs are all cleaned and new. They could use a little bit of adjustment, but I think it's good to go. So again, is it done? Yes, it's rideable. It's doable. It's ready for the summer to cruise around. It runs great, makes a lot of noise, love it. Since this thing's all ready, like I said, 90%, which is fine with me, I'll add on a couple things. I guess bikes are really never done, so you know, we'll move on and do a couple other little goodies here and there. But for now, this one is ready to ride and roll out onto the streets. So there you go. Happy riding.